Okay, guys, so back to our exponent rules. We're going to go over the power rule really quick. So power rule means that you're taking it to an exponent. So if you have like x to the a to the b, what this is telling you to do is multiply your exponents, so times sign. Okay, so for your cheat over here, we're going to take coefficient, and I'm going to shorten that to power, and then multiply exponents. Okay, so now that you have that written, we're going to go ahead and flip over to the powers page. Okay, there's the power rule. So we're going to put in here x to the a to the b equals x to the a times b. Okay, now remember, as you're working, you're going to have the other rules in here. So as we get to another rule, we're going to practice the other rule. Okay, so for 26, the first thing we're going to worry about are coefficients, and I do not have a coefficient, so all I have to do is multiply my exponents. So I have n to the 12th, and that's my final answer. Okay, for 28, I have 4a to the 4th, so the first thing I have to do is put the 4 on 4, and so we're going to do 4 to the 4th, which gives me 256. And be very careful here because there's a 1 on a, so 1 times 4 is a to the 4th, and that would be my final answer. Okay, for 30, I have negative 2, x to the 7th, y to the 5th to the 3rd. The first thing we're going to do is take negative 2 to the 3rd power. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Okay, and that's going to give me negative 8. And then I multiply my exponents. So 7 times 3 gives me 21 for x, and 5 times 3 gives me 15 for y. And that would be my answer. Okay, moving to 32, I have 1/4 a to the 8th b to the 4th squared. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is take 1/4 squared. You can do a fraction, so you can just open it up and do 1/4, and then you could square it, which gives you 1/16. Or what you could do is just put the squared on both pieces, so 1 squared is 1, 4 squared is 16. And then multiply your exponents, which will give me a to the 16th and b to the 8th. And that would be my final answer. Okay, for 34, the first thing I have to take care of is the outside exponent. So if you ever see parentheses with the exponent on the outside, that's what you always do first. So 2 to the 3rd is 8. We're going to multiply our exponents, so x to the 12th and y to the 21st. I'm going to bring down the times sign, negative 3, x to the 3rd, y squared. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply whole numbers and add exponents. So 8 times 3 is negative 24. And if I have an x12 and an x3, that makes x15. And if I have a y21 and a y2, that makes y23. Okay, one more. I have 24 n to the 8th, n to the 5th, divided by negative m squared n all to the 3rd, plus 5 m to the 6th, n to the 3rd, times negative 3 m n to the 4th squared. Okay, this one has a lot. The first thing we're going to do is look for those outside exponents. I have one here and I have one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to keep the 24 m to the 8 n to the 5th because I'm not going to do anything with that. But I am going to do this. You have a negative 1 right here. So negative 1 to the 3rd will still be negative 1 because we're doing negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. Okay, then I multiply my exponents. So I'm going to get m to the 6th and n to the 3rd because that's a 1 right there. Bring my plus 5 m6 n3. And then, sorry, I have to turn a little sideways. We're going to put our times. Okay, and now since this is an outside exponent, negative 3 squared is 9. Okay, this is an m1, so 1 times 2 gives me m squared, and 4 times 2 gives me n8. And I'll rewrite that when I get down here. For right now, I just need the space. Okay, now what I need to work with is this division part, but since there's two things going on, the first thing I'm going to do is this addition down here, and the only way you can add is if the exponents are the exact same, and since they are, -1 plus 5 becomes 4, and then I keep m6 in 3. I still have 24 m8 and 5 on the top, and I still have times 9 m squared into the 8th. Now I'm going to do my division piece. So we're going to divide coefficients and subtract exponents. So 24 divided by 4 is 6. If I have an m8 and an m6, that becomes m squared. If I have an n5 and an n3, that becomes n squared. Bring my times 9, m squared, n8. And now I just have to finish my multiplication. So 6 times 9 is 54. M2 and M2 we're now adding, so I have M4. And N2 and N8, when I add, I get N10. I no longer have any symbols or operations going on in my problem, so that's my final answer. Okay, go ahead and finish those. Call me over and let me check those once you're done.